YouTube tarot reader, Lisa Lee, has been found using bad language during her twice-weekly live streams. In a shocking turn of events, it has also been discovered that she will not tell you what you want to hear, only what you need to know. The internet is in collective shock that authenticity is alive and well in this corner of the YouTube meta space. Do not watch if you are easily offended.
We have a super strong connection here. Right. Oh my God!
Yes, indeed. Oh my God. I remember that reading like it was last week. Anyway, good evening, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the big wide world. Hello and welcome to you. Welcome to the channel. If you are new here, this is Beyond Authentic. We do tarot readings on this channel. I do witch casket unboxing videos. I'm going to be doing some videos about tarot. So some of them will be, oh look, these are my favorite decks. Some of them will be, this is my worst deck I've ever bought and why. So there'll be those sorts of videos coming up. I've got a backlog of tarot decks that I want to do videos about, deep dives into, and all of that. So yeah, there's going to be a lot more videos coming up on the channel. It should be Holland. I will double check. So yeah, there's going to be a lot more videos coming up as we go through the next couple of months and over the summer, hopefully. I know I'm not saying I'm going to do 5 streams a week and 15 videos and all of that stuff because I just can't, because of the fibromyalgia that I have and the other bits of health issues. It just isn't feasible for me to promise stuff because I'll end up promising you something that I then can't guarantee. So all I'm going to say is that I will try and do my best as we go through and as we go through the summer together. So then, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. What is this channel all about? As I say, we do tarot readings here. Do you have to pay for a tarot reading on this channel? Only if you want to guarantee your space. So how it works is we take channel readings. That's good, isn't it? We take tarot reading requests by super chat. So if you want to guarantee you get your question answered, send it as a super chat. Or if you would like to get a free reading, then all you need to do is wait until we open up a free round, and we do that whenever the super chats run out. So basically, if you want to guarantee your reading as a super chat, if you and another person both send it in the same minute, where I am on StreamYard, it shows me the exact times they come in. So I'll read those in the order they come in. Once they're done, I open up a free round. And then when we have a free round, literally if 5 people put a question into the live chat, starting with the word question. So if 5 people put their questions in, I will pick one of those 5 at random. And oops, bashed the microphone, turned it off. And then if there's no more super chats, then I will go ahead and open up another free round, at which point, if you weren't picked in the first round, all you got to do is select, copy your question, and then post it in on the second round or the third round, etc. And again, I hope that I'll pick you at random. How I do the picking is, at the moment, with the jog wheel on the mouse, I put all of the active questions into a thing on the screen, a pot, I was about to say, it's pretty much, and then I'll pull one at random. That's how all of that works here. So then, excuse me, there is some housekeeping that we need to do. So as always, tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life, and tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counseling advice. If you're looking for support in those areas, please seek out a professional in one of those areas. In the same way that if you got home and all of your water was leaking, like the bathroom was flooded, the kitchen was flooded, because all of your pipes had burst, you wouldn't necessarily go and see a psychic to get their crystal ball out or get their cards out, get the runes out and go, ooh, what is happening? No, you'd call a plumber. So in the exact same way, if you are experiencing some mental health problems, if you are experiencing some physical health problems, get them checked out by doctors first. If you are being sued, don't go, oh, I'll ask the tarot reader what the court's going to say. No, get a lawyer, right? Get a lawyer. And that principle should be the same with everything. Also, please remember that anything you put on the internet is there forever. Even when we're long gone and we're nothing but dust, and I'm planted in the ground with a rose bush planted on top of me, which is how I want to be done, then at that point, they will still be on the internet because Google collects everything. So we all know that. So please be mindful of the information you put on the internet about yourself. Don't dox yourself. Don't reveal personal facts unless you want them revealed on live streams. And just because we're a micro nano channel with not even 1,300 subscribers, don't get me wrong, I love each and every one of my subscribers, but we're not a huge channel. Even that, there will still be things like the Wayback Machine, other things in the future where all of that information will probably be able to be accessed. So if you ever want to go and work for a company in the future, this is not the best place to go slagging off anything, really, if you get my drift. It's a bit like on Twitter. You need to be careful about the posts that you have that are available to be seen, and that's that. The other rule, now this is the most serious rule of all, don't be a dick. Okay, that's it. We love everybody on this channel. You can have any belief. You can believe in one God, 20 gods, all the gods, none of the gods. You can believe that, you know, science is everything. You could believe the earth is flat. You could believe the earth is flat on a disc, riding on the back of 4 elephants, riding on a turtle called Great Atuin. You could believe that. That's entirely up to you. I will not tell you what to believe, but please honor that same respect in the live chat and in the comment section when you are commenting, because everybody is welcome here regardless. And with all of that being said, shall we open up a free round? Shall we go for it? Shall we open up a free round? I think we should. I think it is that time. Let's go ahead. Yep, we've officially opened up a free round. It's going along at the it's now in the live chat. There you go. A free round is now open. Please go ahead and pop your question into the live chat, starting with the word question. That's vitally important. I will then choose one of those at random. If you want to guarantee that your question is read, the only way to do that is to send it as a super chat. Okay, all of that being said, in case you didn't understand, because I know a lot of people that watch this are in other countries, and my accent goes between southern, northern, southern, northern. It can be a bit confusing. So here is a quick recap. Okay, right then, let's have a look. Good evening to Jay and good evening to Neil. A couple of our other mods are on. So we've got 4 out of 5 mods on tonight. So that is amazing. Thank you very much to the mods. Just on that, by the way, the mods are the people that keep this channel running. Far more important than I am on the channel. If a mod asks you to do anything or tells you to do something, please follow what they say, because the mods here are bae. Cringe. The mods are in charge. Basically, the mods are here to keep everybody safe and well. Right then, I've just noticed in the chat we have 2 questions in, so that is fantastic. Lavina and Sherry, you know what happens when we see 2 questions in? We do this. Indeed, it is a talisman toss. What do I mean by a talisman toss? Well, let me just put the other light on. There we go. So I've got this bag of talismans. They are made of metal. They are a great doodah, a great source. So I'm going to grab one of these at random. This one. And this is the Earth talisman. So as you can see here, we've got the sigil for Earth, or the symbol for Earth. And on the back, we've got the word Earth and which casket, which is where they've come from. So then, whenever we get 2 questions, we have to toss the talisman. It's a bit like tossing a coin, but with a bit more magic. So the first person's question, hang on, which was the order they came in? Right, okay. So Lavina, you are going to be the symbol, and Sherry, you are going to be the writing. Okay, so we always put it symbol side up or sigil side up, and yeah, so Lavina, you're this side, Sherry, you're the writing. Let's go ahead and toss the talisman. Oh, it's landed. Sigil side up. So Lavina, I'm going to have a look at your question first. Sherry, do me a favor, my darling, select and copy your question. Get it ready for the next round, the next free round. So copy and select select and copy your question, and then on the next round we'll see what happens, basically, and then just post it back in, if that makes sense. Right then, so yes, you do need, it's really important, everybody, that if you aren't chosen for a reading when the round is open, please do select and copy your question, because you may well be able to put it in on the next free round. They don't roll forward, if that makes sense. So if you put a question in and weren't selected, then you need to put it in on the next round yourself. It doesn't roll forward automatically. Right, so I'm just setting up the other deck just in case I need them, and at this point we go ahead and do the usual things. We ring the bell. That cleanses the space, and we bring in Wispy. So then, Wispy is the air elemental dragon that I work with the cards. If you want to know more about what Wispy is an egregore servitor, do have a look in the in the description box. Just before there's a page break, there is a lovely podcast episode that me and Neil have talked about, where we've got a whole episode around what servitors, egregores and tulpas are, and all of my 5 dragons, where they came from, what they are, how I created them, all of that. So if you're interested in that, do please have a little look on the podcast. Right then, talking of which, May's podcast is running a little bit late, so there may well be 2 in June, one hopefully within this next week and one towards the back of the month. Anyway, Lavina, right, Wispy, we have Lavina again, and Lavina is asking, she's not getting any response or any answer from Aniket. I've sent him a message too, but he didn't respond. What is happening between him and you? What are his thoughts? You literally just saw that card jump. This is the 6 of Cups. So Cups is your emotional suit. 6 is talking about community. And this particular card is now your clarifying or modifying card. Okay. So this is now the lens that we're going to read the other cards through. Hopefully that makes some sense. Right. Don't forget, everybody, if you are commenting on anything in the live chat, I don't actually have the live chat up whilst I am reading, so yeah, I don't have the live chat up, so please, I will try and read them at the end if I can. There we go. That's the one I was looking for. There we go. Right then. So we do your drop, Lavina, and here we go. Let's have a look. So we go where you are right now. Ooh, Ace of Swords. Right. Okay. Let's look at what's going on under the surface, what you need to know. Okay. And the opportunity or the outcome ahead. The Knight of Pentacles. Right. Okay. First of all, 3 cards are reversed. There's no emotional cards here. The only emotional card we've got is the 6 of Cups coming in as your modifying card. So the Ace of Swords. Aces are about new starts, new beginnings. However, Swords is your trouble and strife area, if that makes sense. So Swords is where we are looking at obstacles, challenges, things like that. When it's reversed, it's basically saying that there is a new part of your life, a new chapter that's opening that you don't necessarily want. Okay, Swords is always going to be a little bit problematic because Swords is always that challenge, that obstacle. Now we do learn a lot from those. We learn a lot from those challenges, but sometimes it can be painful to learn. And this is reverse, which is basically saying, look, you do not want to recognize this. And I think the fact that you've been in the chat on so many of the live streams recently asking about Aniket, I think you've obviously got very strong feelings for him, but it feels like Aniket just doesn't. And again, with this Ace of Swords, it's basically recognizing the pain that you're feeling, because it's reversed and because it's the start of something. But also I think the biggest challenge here is going to be able to move on from the relationship with Aniket. So that might be something that you don't want to face, but you might actually have to. So I'm just realizing I've got my speakers on. In the what you need to know, we've got the 8 of Pentacles reversed. 8 of Pentacles, if I show it this way up, is all about having all the tools and basically burning the candle at both ends to get things done. So it's talking about not giving up, not finishing, working really hard towards a deadline, all of that. It's talking about putting all of your energy into something to get things before the deadline, blah, 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 blah. But this is reversed and it's saying, look, you're expending too much energy here. You are working really hard for something that doesn't have a future, hasn't got a progression. And the fact that you're getting ghosted by Aniket, you've got no response and he's not replied to messages. I think this is a real sign, my darling, that Aniket is just out of the picture. He doesn't want to know. He's not responded to calls and now he's not responded to a message. It's like you're putting all this effort in, but you're getting no results. Maybe it's time to not put that effort in. And again, the 6 of Cups is talking about in this instance where it's like, I think that the people around you maybe aren't. I don't know whether you've got a support network around you or whether your network is saying, no, keep chasing him, because it really does feel like there's not a lot of point in moving forward with Aniket. The previous readings as well, it really does feel like he has moved on. And again, in the future opportunity, we've got the Knight of Pentacles reversed. If this was the other way up, I would say there may be a chance, because knights do go, they do play hot and cold and they do act first, think later. But this is reversed, which is saying that not even the knight energy that comes in, not even that, act first, think later. Even that isn't bringing any of that energy, any of that growth energy, because Pentacles, as well as being career, work, finances, it links to the earth element. And basically what that does is it represents growth, and it represents, planting a seed and nurturing it. And even the night of growth, if you like, even that night is reversed, which is literally screaming, this isn't going anywhere. I don't think that I don't think there is a future for you and Aniket. Certainly not as a couple. And with the Six of Cups coming in, it's like I get somehow that it feels you're going to lose face in a way, or you're going to be seen as either less than, or you're going to be seen as having lost him or something like that in your support network. But to be honest, my darling, he's out of the picture. There's nothing here at all that suggests that any of your contact is going to be answered, whether that's telephone calls, letters, messages. It's more likely that what will end up happening is that you'll get permanently blocked by him on every social media. So again, I know it's not the answer that you want, my darling, but all I can do is give you, the answers that the cards give me. And it really does look as if Aniket has made his choice, because, in the mundane world, he just isn't answering you. And with these three cards coming up, it really does feel like you're wasting your time, to be honest, my darling. But thank you ever so much for your question. I do genuinely hope that helps. But yeah, if it was me, my darling, I would just say, do you know what? It's gone. Time of death, 1927 British time, 2nd of June 2024. And let's call it. Honestly, that's what it feels like. But thank you very much for your question. Right then, let me have a look on the comments. I get that you've waited a lot, my darling. I do get that you've waited a lot, but yeah, I don't think, I think you just need to move on, my darling. I think you just need to move on. I really do. It doesn't feel like there's anything there. He does do physical things. He gives lots of actions when he works with you. But what is wrong here with him, he never expresses. If you work in the same organization, that's fine. You can work together, but he doesn't have that connection with you. His family wants you to get married. I don't think he wants that. If he wanted that, he would contact you. And there's everything here saying that you're putting in all the work, and he's just not going to respond. He's not interested in responding. So I think, you could carry on for the next 5 years. And I don't think that, for whatever reason, I don't think he's interested. I wouldn't take that personally, my darling. It may just be that he's off doing his own thing, or he wants to make his own choice about a wife. And you can't blame somebody for that. But yeah, it does feel, I listen, there is a saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder, right? So maybe if you stop messaging him altogether and basically be civil at work, nod and go, thank you, Aniket, here's the figures for today, or whatever it is you do. Stop any of the relationship thing. If there is any chance at all that he's interested, once you stop that flow of energy from you to him, he will recognize that. And if he does want a relationship, he will then return that flow of energy and go, oh, Lavina's not been in touch for a while. I'll reach out and give her a call. Maybe we'll go for coffee. At which point, there is hope. But from everything you've said and everything the cards have been saying in the last few readings, I honestly don't think that that's likely. But stop the contact, see what happens. If he doesn't get back to you within a couple of weeks, then you've got your answer that he really isn't interested. And with that, my darling, I'm going to say thank you ever so much for your question. And yeah, thank you for being here. And yeah, I'm going to move on to the next person now, which means we have to open a new round. However, before I do, please do like this live stream. Please hit that like button. It really, really does things for YouTube's algorithm. I don't know what it does. I don't know whether it sort of tweaks YouTube's nipple or something. I've got no idea. But YouTube likes it. So every time you hit that like button, YouTube smiles at us on this channel. The other thing you can do if you haven't already is hit that subscribe button and then ding your bell. Yes. Did it play? Yes. Ding your bell and change your settings to all so that YouTube lets you know when I go live, when I post videos and things like that. Anyway, it is time. Let's go ahead and open another round. Indeed, the next round is open. So again, if you would like a tarot reading, please do go ahead and pop your question into the live chat, starting with the word question. To guarantee your live chat is up next, the only way you can do it, to guarantee your question is up next, the only way you can do it is to go ahead and send your question in the form of a super chat. Either way, go ahead and get your question in. If you're putting it in for the free round, I will pick from all the questions that are in. I will pick somebody at random. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, here is a handy dandy recap. I've got a really itchy nose. I feel like I need to sneeze, but I don't. I know, right? Sorry about that. Random physical things going on here. Again, it's because we're out in the sun today. I'm sure, like, you know, when you've got a right. Is that a sneeze? No. Anyway, it looks like once again, it looks like we've got two questions in. One from Sherry. Oh, Sherry, my darling, you're in another toss. Right then, let me have a look. So we're going to do this one more time. Sherry, cross your fingers. Cross your fingers. Let's do a talisman toss. Oh, didn't play. Right then, once again, I'm getting the talismans out. I very rarely do we get two back to back. So this time the sigil is, ooh, it's fire. There you go. So we've got the symbol for fire on the front, and we've got the word fire and the Witch Casket logo on the back. Witch Casket is the subscription box that these came in. Right then, so as always, we determine that the person who sent the question first gets the symbol side, and the person who sent the question second gets the writing side. So then let's go ahead and toss the talisman. I always put my arm here to stop it running off the table. And, oh, Sherry, it's come up on the writing side. Oh, my darling, you've lost two in a row. Right. By the law of averages, if there is another talisman toss where there is only two questions in, Sherry, by the law of averages, it has to come to you. So keep hold of that faith. Keep the faith. Cross your fingers, cross your legs, and you know, you never know. Hopefully next time you'll be lucky. But your question is up now. So then, as always, we cleanse the space. And I bring in Wispy, the air elemental dragon. And Wispy, we ask, should MM move to a place they're unsure about? Should MM move to a place they are, unsure about? Let's have a wee look. So then, what do we think, Wispy? Do we think MM should move to a place they're not too sure of? Let's see what the cards say. Here we go. One more round, Wispy. One more shuff round. That's 2. That doesn't count because that was my crappy shuffling. That's 3. And that's 4. There we go. I don't know what a single shuff, because when you're shuffling, I don't know what a shuff is. But yeah, I do a shuff. A round of shuff, which is basically 4 goes at the mixing them up. That's what I mean by a shuff round. Right. Not that anybody else needs to understand that. It's just my brain has to give names to things. You know what I'm saying. Right, MM. So, should you move to a place you're uncertain about? Let's go with the situation, the obstacle, and the outcome. Right? So, the situation. Oh, the King of Swords. And it's reversed. Right, so, okay. That's okay. The obstacle. The High Priestess. Okay. And the outcome. Oh, right. Okay, so let me get me other page up. So the King of Swords in your situation. So swords is trouble and strife. King is the ultimate, as high as you can go, the ultimate authority in the tarot suits. There are the major arcanas, which these two are, which go higher, but in the major suits, this is as high as you can go, is the King. Now, the King of Swords, swords is trouble and strife. It is obstacles, challenges, all of those things. Now, the King of Swords, when he's reversed, is bringing in that really negative vibing energy. So the situation, I think there is a major blockage, whether that blockage is coming from an actual person, or whether that blockage is coming from something where things just aren't connecting with this particular place, whether that's the town, the city, or the house or apartment itself. It feels like every time you're looking, oh no, the bus is late, or the plane's late, or something happens. Right, we're going to drive over tomorrow and have a look at the. Oh no, now the water's leaked, and we've got to get the repair people in. And oh now something else has happened. It feels almost jinxed, and the reason is this King of Swords energy, because the King of Swords basically wants to put hurdles in front of you to make you overcome them. The King wants to put challenges in place to watch you overcome them. He basically wants to make life as difficult as possible so that you can learn from them and you can learn new skills. But when you're going through it, that's a bloody hardship. The challenge, we've got the High Priestess, which is really interesting in a challenge position. Now, the High Priestess is quite aloof. She is quite religious and almost fundamental in her religiosity, in her beliefs, in her following her scripture. Quite often with the High Priestess, you can see sometimes she's holding the Torah. Here she's holding a lockbox. Inside that lockbox is spiritual knowledge, right? But she's locked it away. She isn't even holding the Torah. She's put the Torah in the lockbox. This is how rigid she is in following the rules. So there's a lot of rigidity here. I feel there's a lot of rules that you need to kind of follow, hoops you need to jump through, all of that, to be able to move forward. And the key thing, as I said, about the High Priestess is she's personally very aloof. She's not somebody who's very warm, not very comforting. She will tell you it as it is, but through that lens of, but you must be doing everything by the book. She's a very strict mother superior in a nunnery. So that's the obstacle, or that's the obstacle that's there. And it feels like, so this could be that there's somebody, if it's a house share, it could be somebody that's not very keen on sharing with you. If it's a landlady, she could be very, very, we don't want guests after 4 p.m. We don't allow overnight visitors. I don't tell, your bin must be out at exactly 9 p.m. on a Tuesday. And if it's 1 moment late, then you blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Housing, Homeowners Association Karens, basically, is where she's at. And it's saying the way to overcome it is with hermit energy. Now, the hermit talks about going outside of your normal realm, taking some time out, taking some time away, and really thinking about decisions, trying to gain this lantern of wisdom or lantern of knowledge, right? It's metaphysical. It's not an actual lantern, but it's talking about maybe you need to think a bit more about this place. Maybe you need to really sit down and work out how you feel, how the logistics are going to work, and why it is that you're feeling unsure about this. Because the hermit is the one that takes themselves out of all the drama, out of all the stress. They take themselves off and they go off on a journey of discovery. Sometimes that might be a couple of days. Sometimes it might be 40 years. Do you know what I mean? But you need to find what is going to work with this and what isn't going to work with this move. The fact that you're asking about it, the fact that you're unsure about it is kind of reflected here. But I don't think it's because you've just gone, oh, I'm not sure. I think it's very much because there are some big blockages here. And I think the best thing that you can do, in all honesty, is to make a list, why I want to move, why I don't, what the positives are, what the negatives are, and you'll probably find the negatives outweigh the positives 2 to 1, 3 to 1, and that will tell you, right, probably not the place for me. Obviously, if there is any, hang on, let me change the camera. Obviously, what I would say is, with anything in life, if there is an issue about your personal safety and you've got to get out of a situation you are in, then move, right? Don't put your personal safety at risk because there might be some rules where you're going, or, it doesn't feel quite right where you're headed. Your personal safety comes above all else. So if you've got to move because there's a really shit situation going on, then move. But then be prepared to move again to find somewhere that you actually fit, if that makes sense. If it isn't that important to move and you can hang on where you are for a couple of months or whatever, then maybe that's the best option in the interim, and then find a better solution down the road. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, it doesn't feel like this is, put it this way, the gut instinct from the cards is echoing your gut instinct that you're unsure about this. I think there's a very, very valid reason for that. And I always believe in listening to my gut. The fact that the tarot's backed that up is almost secondary, but there you are, my darling. I would say this probably isn't for you unless it's a matter of safety. Okay, thank you very much. But yes, hopefully that helps. Right then, let's have a look in the live chat. Good evening, Ellis. Good evening. Oh, and Ed's here as well. Good evening. We've got a full flotilla of mods. A full flotilla of mods. A full modesty of mods. A full reign of mods. I don't know. Ellis, I did go to Pride yesterday, and caught a little bit of sun, and caught a little bit of sun more today. You didn't see us at Pride. Well, Holland unfortunately was poorly, but I did go and I did spend some time with the nibbling. So yes, we did. We did manage to. I managed to find a massive load of very young, not quite teenagers, but like young 20-somethings in amongst 10,000 other young 20-somethings. So this was me and Jay yesterday. Are you ready? Ah, look at that. Me and the nibbling. And a few thousand people behind us. Yay! Ah. This is such a lovely photo. I really like that photo, Jay. But anyway, yes, there you go. Make a list. Yes, exactly. The pronoun protector. How did you know that? The situation in the current place is bad. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. Make a list. But if you do have to move into this new place, treat it as a temporary. Treat it like I'll be here for 3, maybe 6 months, and then I'm going. Right? If hopefully that makes sense. Oh, what do you mean, Jay? I think that's an amazing photo. We look like sisters. So I've got to tell you all, one of the young people that we were with yesterday, and bearing in mind they were very young, they were like 16 or nearly 17 or something, and it wasn't one of the main friendship circles, but they came over and they basically said, how old are you, to me? And the friendship circle went, oh, you can't ask a lady her age. Oh, that's really rude. Blah, 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 blah. They all said it almost in unison. It was really funny. And I said, oh, I'm getting old now. I said, I'm nearly 35. And they went, or did I say 32? I can't remember. But they went, oh my God, you don't look that old. And I looked directly at Jay, and Jay looked at me, and we were like, okay. And I was just like, shut up. Don't say anything, Jay. Don't tell them I'm actually nearer to bloody 50 than I am 35. So, like, don't say anything. It was so funny. It was so funny. And I was just like, oh, this moisturizer must be working. Moisturize me, moisturize me. But also, I think the shorter haircut might have done it as well, because, you know, bright and breezy hair. Anyway, enough about Pride. I talked about it on the members only and everything else. But yes, I will put that picture in the doodah. Yes, in the mod space. Anyway, shall we have another tarot reading? Shall we get on with some more tarot readings? I think we probably should. So, if you are wanting a tarot reading, there are a couple of things that you can do. The first thing you can do is to... No. If you would like a tarot reading, go ahead and you can send it as a super chat. That comes directly through to myself. It also, any money raised, we do send 10% to each of the 2 bladder cancer charities that helped me out over the last couple of years dealing with bladder cancer. But you also get a slightly longer, reading. If for whatever reason you don't want to send it as a super chat, you can always pop it into the live questions right now. Put it into the live chat, starting with the word question. I will then gather up all the questions that are in the free round, and I will randomly choose one. If there's 2, we do a talisman toss. If there's more than 2, I will basically pick one at random using the mouse when I've got my eyes shut. Right? That's how it works. Just in case you don't understand, or just in case you are blinded by the fact that I am, in fact, not quite. I am, you know, not actually younger than 35. I'm quite significantly older than 35. So if you are shocked by that and you completely ignored everything that I just said, here is a handy little video. Sherry, do you know what's happened? Do you know what's happened, Sherry? Do you know what's happened? You're the only person who put a question on that round, which means you get the question. Perseverance paid off. Thank you, Ellis. I am a teenager. I know that. I know, right? In fact, the 20-year-olds at Pride are significantly older than me. Just, you know, I'm very young. Eyes, hello, fellow teenagers. Eyes down with the kids. Sherry, right, let's go ahead. I'm going to do your reading just about now. Oh, no, that didn't work. Now.
We have a super strong connection here. Right. Oh my God!
Do excuse me, I just needed a drink of squash. I am on the dilute, the water with a bit of dilute squash, which to any of our American viewers, I don't think you have squash in the States. The reason I'm thinking this is because I watch a YouTuber who's from the UK who's gone to America, and whenever he comes back to the UK, he fills a suitcase with squash. So yeah, absolute suitcase with squash. Anyway, as always, let's cleanse the space, Sherry. And we're bringing Wispy.
You just made the list.
You did make the list, Sherry. You did. But that's Wispy's music that we want. And Wispy, we're going to ask, do we see Sherry meeting someone new in love for a long-term, stable relationship this year? Now, what I will say, Sherry, is that to be honest with you, we only see up until a couple of months-ish into the future. So you're looking at 2 to 3 months maximum, right? So if that love energy isn't already around you or isn't about to come in the next 2 months, then it might be something that we literally don't see yet. So I'll do it for as long as I was doing so well. I will do it for as long as we can see, but I don't know how long that's going to be, if that makes sense. Right then, Wispy, let's see what romantic energy is coming Sherry's way or Cherie's way. I tell you what, we'll say over the summer. Over the summer, is there anything coming up over the summer, Wispy? Let's have a wee look. So then, there we go. I'm going to do your drop. Is it going? Is it going? There we go. I didn't think it was going to drop then. So let's have a look. We're going with a love energy. So I'll tell you what, we'll go with this standard where you are right now. Ooh. What you need to know and what is coming up. Oh, right. So the short answer, Cherie, is probably not. At least not what the cards can see now. Bear in mind, it's only a 3-card reading as well. With the longer readings, we tend to get into a bit more depth. But in the where you are right now, we've got the 8 of Swords. So Swords, as I say, is the challenge suit. It's the suit that talks about obstacles, hurdles to overcome, learning experiences. And the 8... Oh, thank you, love. Oh, I put me squash there. Thank you. Rufus has just brought me in a steaming hot cup of coffee. Thank you, my darling. Oh, look, I'm going to enjoy that. Yay. Thank you. So, yeah, Swords is obstacles, challenges, things that are sent to try us, all of those things. Now, in hindsight, that's great. You know, in hindsight, with 2020 vision, those learnings, those challenges, they're great. When you're going through, it's a bit shit. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit hard when you're going through it. Now, the 8 of Swords is actually probably one of the better sword cards because it's saying that there's a blindfold that is coming off you right now. And it looks like from this card, it's like you've had that blindfold lifted. You've seen maybe the truth of a situation. You've seen, you know, what lies behind a situation. And it also feels very freeing from that perspective, because you're no longer bound by that person or from that situation. So it really does feel as if it is, you know, it is kind of freeing, isn't it? Once you're able to move forward. However, it feels like there are still some lessons here that you kind of need to go through. Ace of Swords again, those challenges that hurdle, those obstacles, but the Ace is a new beginning. Now, I think that this is reversed, so I think that this is already here. This is what you need to know, and it feels like this is already here. There is a period of your life at the moment which is a growing pain period, if that makes sense. And there's going to be some bits over the next couple of months that you need to learn, whether that's about yourself, whether that's about relationships, whether that's about, you know, you setting boundaries or whatever it is. There's some stuff here, some challenges here that you really need to go through and to learn from. Thank you, Patricia. And I think that those challenges, it's like that work hasn't finished yet. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's still some work to do. So this will be towards the back end of summer, not the end, but towards the back end of summer. We're looking at the moon reverse. Now, the moon, normally I equate the moon to things like navel gazing. So you just sat waiting, you're like watching paint dry, you're just trying to think about, you know, a lot of stuff that's happening, but you're not really moving forward. And in this deck, the moon is, yes, it's talking about this spiritual connection with the full moon. It's talking about getting in touch with that spiritual, earthy nature kind of side of things. But it's also, when it's reversed, it's also saying that sometimes you really need to put that spiritual work in, if that makes sense. Get in touch with your inner self, get in touch with your inner, you know, how you view yourself, maybe do a bit of shadow work, things like that. It can relate to, you know, spirituality in its wider form. So it can relate to maybe going to church or going to mosque or going to synagogue, whatever it is, and actually talking. It could be about going to, you know, a witchcraft group and talking some things through. It feels very much like this is a journey. The other thing I will say with the moon is it can relate to monthly cycles, because obviously the moon is related to 28 days and the tides and everything else. So it could also mean that there is nothing coming your way at all, like 0% chance for the next month. Okay, because you're asking about long-term stable relationships, because you're asking about meeting someone new. Absolutely not in June. So that basically means if you kind of rule that out and take that off the table, then it means it leaves June for you to be a progressive month for yourself. So you can do some of the, you know, some of the learning or navel gazing or whatever it is that you need to do to kind of find some answers. It means you can do all of that, if that makes sense. And you can deal with any shit from the past. You can crack on and make some really lovely positive changes so that July, August, September's energy is a little bit more positive about a longer term relationship. But yeah, I would say probably not up until the middle of summer, and probably to definitely not this month. But yeah, again, I'm sorry that's not what you want to hear, but again, I can only give you the answers that the cards give me, and I do hope that that helps. And again, thank you very much for your question. Right then, let me just have a look. What am I doing? I need to change the camera. That's what I need to do. And then I'm coming into the live chat. Oh, wow. Okie dokie. Let me have a look. Jay, the monster diet isn't healthy. I don't mind. I don't mind not ginger beer, root beer. It does have that soapy flavour, but I also like sarsaparilla. That's why I like Dr. Pepper. Was that Chris Jericho shouting, "You just made the list"? I've got no idea.
You just made the list!
Yes, it was. So we've got Chris Jericho and Taker. So yes, Melinda Brown. Good evening, Melinda Brown. Hello from Arizona. You thought if you missed it today, glad you made it even if you're late. No problem at all, my darling. No problem at all. And I've seen that you put a doodah in. A doodah, one of these. So you are going to get the next reading, guarantees. Your ankle and knee is slowly healing and getting stronger. I'm glad that at least you are getting a little bit stronger. Strong enough to live without you. Strong enough. I'm just going to dance. I know, right? Ed's come back and I'm singing and dancing. Just natural. Right then. Thank you, Cherie. I really do hope it helps. I hope it consists of food, Jay. Although you did make buns, which was a very sensible thing. So yes. Right then. You like sarsaparilla. I love sarsaparilla. We can get it over here as a cordial. I love it. It's so delicious. Right then. So, what you might have just seen is that Melinda Brown has sent a super chat. Now, when you send a super chat, it guarantees that you are the next person that I read for. So, yep, that basically means that we are going to do it. I mean, that's
Oh my.
not quite what I was intending on saying, but we are going to do Melinda Brown's reading right now. I should have had that set up better. Yep, we're going to do Melinda Brown's reading right now. I'm such a nerd and I didn't even put the cards back in. I know, right? I'm trying to be all like shock jock, not shock jock, but you know, like a American radio station where you got all the buttons and you got fart noises and all of these random things. But yeah, that's just not me. That is just not me. When I would do it, it just ends badly. Like that. You see? What happens? Right then, Melinda Brown. First of all, I really feel like I need to sneeze. I know, right? I don't know why I'm telling you that. I am just connected to wild earth energy after 2 days out in countryside. That's what it is, you know. The universe is telling me, do not go out into countryside 2 days running. That's what I've done. That is what I've done. You see, that's where I went wrong. I know. I'm an urban witch, really. That's what it is. Right then. So we've got the cleanse the space for Melinda, and we're bringing in Wispy. So Wispy, the ever lovely Melinda Brown, who may well be a cousin from another dozen of people. I can't make that work. J. Melinda, just there, believes that me and Melinda could actually be not married. Fibro brain. No, that we could be related, which means that seeing as you are my nibbling, so I am related to you, then Melinda could also possibly be a long lost member of your family as well. So there you go. So yes, jeez. What? I'm not proposing. No, I am a very happily married woman. Thank you very much. Very happily married. However, green card. I mean, you know. I have watched 90 Day Fiancé. I have seen what goes on. But no, I'm quite happy over here. But thanks. Right then. So, Wispy. I mean, I'm sure you're a catch. I am sure you are an absolute catch, Melinda. Particularly if you're as similar to me as you think, then we are absolutely. You are definitely a red hot catch. Just like myself. But yeah, unfortunately, I already have a Rufus. So, you know. And also, I'm not really into women. Do you know what I mean? Like, never done it for me. Anyway, right, a general... You see what happens? You see what happens when I've been out of the house 2 days running? My brain does not function. I know everyone's going, your brain never functions, Lisa. What the hell are you talking about? I know, right? So, Wispy, we are looking for a general reading for the summer, please. A general reading for the lovely summer to come. Warm summer sun, warm evenings, warm mornings, hot days, lots of lovely flowers and insects and things happening, shuffling not being an issue. That's what I'm looking forward to. Not dropping cards. But yes, we are looking for a general reading for summer. Right then. Oh, these flaming cards. I know, right? Bad work person blames their tools. There we go. Right, that's enough. That's enough shuffling, Wispy. I gave you a chance to make cards, flipping you threw them everywhere. So, a general reading. I tell you what we're going to do. We are going to do... I feel like a horseshoe. Melinda, let's do you a horseshoe. Let's do you a horseshoe. Haven't done a horseshoe for a few weeks. Let's do a horseshoe. Good evening to Nanette. I've just seen you pop in the chat. Hello, Nanette. I hope you are doing well, my darling. By the way, if you are new here, please do go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and ding your bell so that YouTube lets you know each and every time I go live or post a video. Right then, let's go. In the past, the present, the influences, the obstacle, the way that other people view you, the advice, and the outcome. Let's have a look. So, right then. So this is as general a general reading can be, Belinda. So we've got the Two of Pentacles coming up in the past position. So this could be related to work, career, finances. So it could be an issue around money that's come up recently. Twos are normally, for me, I equate the twos to couples. So it could be that there is either an issue with money around you and somebody else, or maybe maybe there is an issue around, like there's a work issue happening. It feels like it doesn't feel negative. It feels quite kind of positive, actually, that this new sort of work money energy is coming in. It doesn't feel like it's coming away. It feels like it's coming in, if that makes sense. So it feels like it's a positive bonus for yourself. Then we've got the Six of Pentacles, and this is where we are now, and this is the how can I put it? This is almost the reverse, right? So it feels like things were going okay, and then now it feels like there is an issue here, because the Six of Pentacles is talking about literally donating things to charity, giving and helping other people. But this is reverse, which is suggesting that help and support is something that you need right now. And again, it feels like it's only a temporary thing, because it feels like really recently you were on the up financially, and then something has shifted, and now you're needing a little bit of support. Again, Pentacles can also relate to growth. So it could be, if this is in the relationship field, it could be that there is a little bit of support needed for a relationship. So it could literally be, you know, maybe you need to go to couples counseling. Maybe you need to, I don't know, you know, get some friends to help, or whatever it is that you need your comfort blanket support, if that makes sense, around you. I don't think it's anything too much to worry about. There are a couple of cards that are a little bit icky, but it doesn't feel too bad right now, if that makes sense. In the influence right now, right, we've got the, sorry, my in-ears are pulling at me. In the confidence, no, influence right now, what is influencing you? We've got temperance. Now, temperance is about finding that middle ground, negotiating, compromising, all of those lovely things, and trying to, you know, make sure that nobody is out of nobody's nose is out of joint, nobody's feeling uncomfortable about the way the decisions and the negotiations have ended. However, this is reversed, so it's saying that it's almost like whatever has happened recently around finances or around this idea of needing some financial, it's like there's ill feelings that have come with it, if that makes sense. And it's like, yeah, okay, I don't know. I'll put it this way. Yeah, okay, I can lend you $10 for the, you know, for a burger, but make sure I get it back this time. And then that person goes, no, honestly, I don't mind. I can lend you the $10. Yeah. No, honestly, it's fine. But, you know, make sure you give it me back. There's that kind of, you know, when there's that undercurrent of things not being said, that little bit of bitchiness, that little bit of sassiness, that little bit of Karen-ness. There's something there around that. Now, this is in the influence position. So I think that is influencing kind of how you are dealing with things at the moment, because there's this vibe of, it's almost like a backhanded compliment. You know, somebody's helping, but then they're going, but you know, if you didn't do this, if you didn't have gone and bought a new car, you wouldn't be in this position. Well, if you know, it's that thing where older people tend to turn around and go, if you didn't buy that Costa coffee, if you didn't get your breakfast at Starbucks every morning, you'd have the deposit for a house. Average households, you know, an average house cost is $120,000. That's a hell of a lot of coffee and croissant that you would need to not have to save up that deposit. Do you know what I mean? But it's that vibe, and this is all linked into that. It's like somebody's making it clear that they're willing to help. But, you know, I shouldn't have to, but I'm willing to. But I really shouldn't have to. You should be able to sort this out. But I'm willing to. Honestly, it's not a problem. It's really not a problem. I'm proud to help. I really want to help. But, you know, you should really be doing this by yourself at this age. Do you know what I mean? The Page of Cups coming up in the obstacle position. Pages are youthful energy. So it could be a child. It could be somebody who's acting like a child. It's in the cup suit, which is all about emotions. It's all about kind of bear with, sorry. It's all about, I think this is a child acting childish. I don't think this is an adult acting childish. I think this could be, I don't know whether you've got children, because, you know, vibro brain. You might have said every single time you've been on the channel, hi Lisa, me and my 17 kids were hanging out today, and the way my brain is today, I just wouldn't remember. But it may well be a child that you have, or a child in the family that is causing an emotional disturbance, because cups isn't just about hearts and flowers, love. It's also about all of the emotions, and this child energy that's coming in, it almost feels like there is somebody, I do get the impression it's an actual child rather than just like a grown ass adult who is acting like a brat. I don't think it's that. I think it is actually a child. But that's coming up in your general obstacle at the moment. In the way other people see you, you've got the 10 of Swords, which is really interesting because I think it's linked in with this influence. Right, whoever it is that is helping, or whoever it is that's going to help, and have that snarky kind of sarcastic rather than sardonic, that really like, yeah, that mealy mouth, it's like tight lips. It's like they see you as being out of your depth, surrounded by bullshit, surrounded by stuff that you've got to deal with, juggling a million plates, spinning a million plates, juggling a million balls, having to do everything. They see it as you being overwhelmed and there's too much to handle. That isn't the case, right? That isn't the case. You've often heard me say the 9 of something is full, the 10 is overflowing. That doesn't mean that is actually what's happening. It's just how somebody around you is perceiving that. So I don't know whether this is friend or sister or, sister-in-law, mother-in-law. It's that sort of vibe for somebody that's just being a bit catty, a bit snarky for the point of being snarky. The advice: Queen of Cups, rise above spiritually, and then pick up your biggest crystal and hit them over the head with it. I'm not saying do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Get a water bowl that you're scrying with and accidentally cut their head in the bowl until they rot. No, don't do that. Don't do any of that. Don't do any of that. The advice is rise above. Right? It's when they go low, you go high. The Queen of Cups is all about that nurturing energy, that really in touch with your inner self, but also really in touch with other people. This is basically killing them with kindness, right? This is killing them with fucking kindness. You go, oh, I know, I've always been a fuck up, haven't I? Yeah, I know you've always held that opinion about me. Yeah. Never mind. Shall we talk about your 15 failed marriages, your 13 kids, those 2 that you abandoned? Shall we talk about that? Oh, no, you don't want to talk about that. Okay. How about the fact that one of your kids is one of the biggest drug dealers? No, you don't want to talk about that either? Okay, right, okay. And it's like that. It's where you basically, on the confident spiritual kind of level, you let all that shit go. On the emotional level, you let all that shit go, but you don't let them get away with it. Do you know what I mean? You cease to respond to it, so they think, oh, I've really twisted that knife now, and you're like, nope, just very serene. I'm going to do some readings. I'm going to be in my Zen place, whereas actually everything is going into the noggin. Everything is being logged. Everything is being remembered. And when the time is right, that little viper tongue will come out. So that's the advice. Rise above. Don't forget. Forgive. Don't forget. And be prepared to get that little, you know what I mean? Where you're just in that perfect moment and you go, here's the money back that you lent me, and because I know that your situation is significantly worse than mine at the moment, because all of your kids have been coming to mine for dinners for the last 3 weeks, so yeah, I'm glad I can help. Do you know what I mean? That the outcome, we've got the Hanged One. So the Hanged One is a card of waiting and sacrifice, but you're doing it for a very, very good reason. Neil put the name of this again in the chat. I can never remember what its official name is. On a standard tarot deck, the Hanged One is not tied by their feet, so they're choosing to be hanging upside down on the tree. They're magically connected to the tree because they don't even have their ankles over a branch, but it looks like they're tied to a branch, even though they're not. Look, you can literally see that in this, right? You can see here it goes round the branch, but there's no knot. So in theory, they should just fall. This is a form of Japanese rope art, where the person literally, it's like a spiritual thing. It's a bit like the people that hang with hooks through them and they enter like a whole different realm of experience. But this is somebody who has chosen to put themselves at a little bit of risk, but put themselves into a place where they are going to learn. They're going to gain the knowledge of the runes, which is what the Hanged Man represents, and they're going to learn, and they're going to take those lessons by this bit of sacrifice. So this is literally saying at the moment, if you need support from other people, ask for that support. Bite your tongue when the nasty comments come, when the bitchiness and the cattiness and all of that snarkiness that comes with, when that comes, bide your time, because at some point this will all get a hell of a lot better over the summer. This will absolutely improve, and then you are the one that will be able to either rise above or rise above with a little snarky, a little receipt for the snark. Does that make sense? Hopefully, my darling, that makes a bit of sense. I'm going to come back into the live chat and just see what it is. Yeah. Right. Yes. Fantastic. I've just seen in the live chat that it makes sense. Quite often when I do the 7 cards spread, we go into so much that it can be quite difficult, if you like, for me to know whether or not it's hitting. But yeah, if this is absolutely hitting, then you get what I'm saying. So I'm really, really pleased about that. Right, let me have a look in the chat. In the chat. It's a chatty. Do. What? Quality Street bracelet. No, do you know what it is? It's a hair tie. I was going to put my hair back. I've just put the other part of it from here just into a clamp because it was just doing my head in. Basically, when we're in the middle of summer, my hair flops like Darth Vader's helmet. It literally has that triangular shape. Okay, I don't think I know that song, Jay. You've been helping others financially and they've been irresponsible with finances and it's causing you financial hardships. Yep. Listen, Melinda, money, it's the same as being on an aeroplane that's about to crash, right? It's exactly the same. It's not exactly the same. It's exactly the same, right? Having money, whether it's $10 or $10,000 or $10 million, right? It's exactly the same. You have to put your needs first. It's all well and good helping out friends, but if it means that at the end of the month you can't pay your bills, you can't pay your rent, and there's no food on the table, you are stuck. So it's exactly the same as being on an aeroplane that's about to crash. Because what do they tell you? Put your mask on and then help the person next to you, or the young person or the old person, or whatever it is, whoever it is you're traveling with. Because if you collapse and they collapse, there's 2 people unconscious. Whereas if they collapse momentarily because you're putting your mask on, you then help them with their mask. Eventually, there's nobody unconscious. Do you get what I mean? And it's that same thing with money. If you are helping other people with finances too much, then with the best will in the world, you are the one that's going to end up having to ask for help. And it's very difficult for those of us that are empathetic to be able to, and I mean that in the genuine meaning of the word rather than the TikTok version of I'm so empathetic. No, when you see somebody in need, you want to help, but you've got to make sure that that isn't going to leave you in need, right, my darling? So that's where boundaries, and that's where all of that comes in. So that connects with the doodah. It's your adult kids, right? Yeah. Again, at some point, they got to stand on their own 2 feet. But yeah, I get what you mean. Exactly. Yeah, I get it. And judgmental, like you're not a human being who makes mistakes and has feelings. No, of course you're not. Of course you're not. Nope. You are simply the National Bank of Mum. Yep. The National Bank of Mum. I get it. I totally understand. But yeah, hopefully that helps. It is the Yggdrasil, the tree of the world tree, the tree of life. Let's have a look. What's this? Adulting is shit, but being a kid and being told what to do is a lot worse. No, being an adult and being told what to do is the ultimate worst. It really is. It's the Yggdrasil, but yeah, it's fine. I know exactly what you mean. Let me have a look. Yes, Shibari, that's what I was talking about. It was an art piece, then it got adopted by the fetish community, but it's also used for meditation, and sometimes it can be all three things at once, and sometimes it's still used as an art exhibition, art display. Boldly Dream, thank you very much. I've got your super chat in. I will absolutely do your reading next. I'm just following up on the chat. Oh, excuse me. We are all children on the inside, but now we're large enough to be free. I wish. But yeah, I do feel like a child on the inside. I've got to say, being at Pride yesterday with a load of 20-year-olds, I did not feel that much older than them. I felt maybe 5 years older than them, and I was like, I like this song. Let's go and dance. I really was up for dancing, but the 20-year-olds all bailed because they were all like, oh, really tired. And I was like, no, let's dance. But anyway, and then I sat waiting for a bus for nearly 2 hours until Rufus had to come and pick me up. But anyway, right, Boldly Dream, you're up next, my darling. Let's go ahead and do your reading. I'm going to do it in 17 seconds time. No, I'm not. I'm going to do it in... Where's that one? I'm going to do it in just over 30 seconds. You're up. Yes, indeed. To hit that join button, come and join the collective. Yes, come and be one of us, Also, we call it the Coffee Club Crew because, as you would have probably realised, every time I play one of those ident things, I take a giant slurp of my coffee because I run on coffee. In fact, my blood type is full caffeine. So yeah, it literally says Lisa, age 32, blood type Nescafe. It doesn't say Nescafe, but I forgot other names of coffee. But yeah, it says blood type coffee. So yes, but do come and join us. We do a members only live stream at 6 p.m. every Sunday evening before the main this live stream here, and we also I also put videos up at least a day early when we're doing the pre-recorded videos, and as I'm editing the podcast from last month, but shh, don't tell anybody. As I'm editing the podcast, there is going to be a longer version of the podcast only available to members with maybe a little bit more in it, a bit more comedy, a few umps and bumps and things like that. So yeah, if you want to be part of any of that, do hit the join button. You can join from just $2.99. I know, right? Anyhow, let's go back to the readings. Where is my button? There's the magic button. So, Boldly Dream. I love that name. To boldly dream when no one's dreamt before. Amazing. So then, Boldly Dream. I'm going to cleanse your space. There we go. And let's hit Wispy. Let's bring them in. May I please have a general reading for guidance regarding what I need to know in June? Absolutely. So then, Wispy, Boldly Dream would like to know what guidance do they need for this coming month. It is the Gemini month. I am a Gemini. It is the summer solstice. So we got the solstice on the 20th. We've got the full moon hitting 2 days afterwards. Oh my God, look what's happening. I've got a card there and I've got a card there that has somehow flipped. And they are both twos, which is telling me we're going to have 2 clarifying cards. So what is happening? The 2 of Cups and the 2 of Pentacles, both of them have come up reversed. So has there been a split recently, Boldly Dream? Either a split within a family or a relationship or in the workplace? Has there been maybe like a work partnership that's gone its separate ways? Because this would absolutely seem to not suggest, but absolutely like confirm that there has been some sort of split up over the last month or so. So yeah, it really does feel like there is an absolute split, if that makes sense. Right, let's have a look. I'm going to cut the deck. Wow, a low cut, and let's have a little look at what you can't say. So, a general reading for guidance. I'll tell you what, we'll do because I've got this coming in. We'll do 2 layers. We'll do the first layer as the conscious, and the second layer is as the subconscious, if that makes sense. So then, here we go. This is where you are in your life. This is what you need to know. And this is the opportunities to come. Good opportunities. Nice. Okay. In the subconscious, for where you are. Okay, what you need to know and what's to come. Right. Okie doke. So it's, let me, no, I don't have any mate. I was about to get the little animation thing up, but I don't have any majors. I don't know why I thought I had a major arcana card there, but I don't. So 2 2s is a really interesting dichotomy, because there's either work splits on the horizon, or relationship splits on the horizon, or possibly both on the horizon. As your clarifying cards, these are hinting at there being some sort of separation coming up. But anyway, let's look at what the cards themselves say. So we've got where you are right now, we've got the 6 of Swords. Swords, as I keep saying, is trouble and strife. It's the challenges, the obstacles, the hurdles of life. Now, the 6 is when we're looking at it affecting people around you and it affecting the community. So there is something going on in your life right now. I don't think it's you that's causing these challenges. I feel like it's because it's reversed. It's people around you that are almost like they're bringing their shit to your doorstep, expecting you to deal with it. The thing about the 6 of Swords, though, is that as you're moving through these hurdles and as you're moving through these challenges, each one of the swords, I mean, in this instance, the swords are actually nails, but each one of these giant nails has been put into the boat, and you are trying to move away. There's an emotional element in it, because the sea, the water, is actually, anytime you see water in a tarot card, it always represents emotions. So there's this element going on of trouble that's kind of turned up on your doorstep that you are trying to help and trying to deal with, but it's almost like you're taking it with you wherever you go. Does that make sense? Again, it could be relating to money for some reason, because in the subconscious we've got the King of Pentacles. So I don't know whether you are looking for a raise, you're looking for work, you're looking for a different job or a more substantial job, but the King is literally, the King represents the King being in the counting house, counting all the money. So it's talking about having almost that luxury of having that financial safety net, having that financial backing, and being able to live a certain lifestyle. Now, the thing is, this is in the subconscious, so it could be that this is your goal and you are wanting to get to the point where financially you're not just doing okay paycheck to paycheck. You've got a bit of a nest egg, you've got a little bit of a safety net, or quite a large safety net, and therefore this issue is kind of about moving forward financially, and it's about the hurdles that are coming in may well be with searching for new jobs, new work, things like that. Again, the Two of Pentacles turning up here, that financial element of the Pentacles is interesting. Anyway, what you need to know, we've got the Page of Cups on the, again, on the physical. So whatever's happening, pages are youthful energy, childlike energy. It can relate to actual children. It can relate to, you know, those sort of people in your life, or it could also relate to somebody that is being bloody childish. And this is in the what you need to know. So this could even be that you are almost having a temper tantrum about something at the moment. And from your perspective, it's perfectly logical. It's perfectly sound. What you're saying is absolutely perfectly correct. However, other people around you are seeing it as being, seeing as being a little bit of a thingy, if that a tantrum, or seeing it as being, you know, childish. The thing about the Page of Cups is that it actually could be that it's a positive, because it could be saying that you kind of need to focus on that childlike joy, if that makes sense, of emotions. So it feels like as we go through this month, it feels like as we go through this month, there's going to be more to enjoy, more to get excited about, more to something, more to experience. Interestingly, in the subconscious, there is an element here that, because it's reversed, is actually saving the subconscious level, if you like. So we've got this financial element coming in, with the goal being to get, you know, a little bit of a nest egg or a little bit of financial stability. The King of Wands is coming in with your confidence, right? So childlike energy, yes, it's reversed, but it's saying that I think this is something that you need to really maybe look at, enjoying things a little bit better, enjoying things, maybe going out to the park for a day where there's a trampoline, and, you know, paying your $10 or your $5 or whatever the hell it is, and going and jumping on a trampoline. Why? Because it's bloody well there and it's a warm day and you want to bounce up and down. You know what I mean? Like kids do. But what the King of Wands is bringing is an element in your confidence. Now, if it was this way up, it would be the ultimate red flag, right? Because literally the king is carrying a red flag. But when it's reversed, it's saying, I think you're due for a bounce. I think you're due for a bounce in your confidence. Like something is going on this month that is going to boost your confidence up, but isn't going, how can I put it? Right. So if the card is this way up, it talks about arrogance. It talks about that point where confidence spills over, it becomes arrogance, it becomes somebody that's a know-it-all, it becomes this whole I know best, do it my way or the highway, that kind of really arrogant attitude. When it's reversed, it's actually saying that the confidence is coming in, but it's not bringing the arrogant attitude with it. And so there is something here coming up that is going to boost your confidence, but you're not going to be an asshole about it. So whether that's a promotion, whether that's a, how can I put it? Whether that's a, I don't know, promotion. I keep getting promotion going around my head. I don't think it is. But there's going to be something that lifts you out of whatever you've been going through, right? Whatever these challenges were, it's going to lift you out of them, and it's going to make your life easier. I don't know whether it's health issues or what it is, but anyway, It's going to make things a little bit easier for you. And what it's going to do, the only reason I say health issues is because I'm very mindful of the wheelchair there. But it's going to lift you out of that issue or those issues, and it's going to bring in that confidence boost in a positive way, right? So you're not going to get that big-headed, arrogant kind of attitude around it. In the what's to come, whatever this is, right? Whatever this boost is, oh my God, it's going to be brilliant, because you've got the Ace of Cups coming in. Cups is emotions, right? So you've got all of the emotional stuff, the positive emotions. So not just love, because it can relate to love, but friendship, all of that loveliness, that warm fuzzy feeling you get, you know, when it's snowing and you're looking at the fireplace and you're watching a film with a cup of cocoa, all of those lovely positive vibes. Thank you, Ed. All of those lovely positive vibes, and love, and sexy times, and whatever else. This is all starting to change for you coming up, because we've got the Ace. It's a new start and a new beginning. So whatever this change is, whatever this kick up in confidence, it's going to bring you a lot of happy thoughts, right? You're going to be going to your happy place physically, not just in your head. Now, one thing I will say is that it's going to bring with it a slight wibble, because your emotional self like this is going to be a little bit right, because the Eight of Wands is all about taking the aspects of your life that you know, all the things that you know that you're confident about, all the things you're positive about, and it's literally connecting them with fireworks that are going pew, 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 pew. So those fireworks are going off, and it's going to be doing this big change, right? This change is going to happen, and it's going to bring you the opportunity for you to redirect your life, right? So it's almost like if you're watching a TV show, they have a mid-season break and then they come back and suddenly it stops being a crime drama and it becomes, you know, will the police detective and the police constable get together whilst they're investigating the crimes? You know what I mean? It shifts. And this is kind of that. This is your mid-season direction change, because basically what it's saying is that it's going to feel a little bit off, because it's like somebody's gone into your house and moved all the furniture just a couple of inches each way, and everything's suddenly like, oh, has that moved? Has that moved? I'm not sure. But it's going to give you the ability to take the things forward that you want to take and to forget about the shit that you don't, right? So as we're looking at this through these two cards lens, it's almost like you've got the life before and the life after, right? So it's almost like there's this fork that is splitting between the two ways forward. So yeah, it kind of feels like whatever is happening in June, right? It feels like this is going to be a big month and quite a positive month, so that when you get to December, you'll be like, oh my God, like 2024 was a year of two halves. The first half of the year was bloody shit. The second half of the year, wow, it's been so cool, right? That is what it's going to feel like. Overall, I think there's nothing to particularly worry about. When the Page of Cups first came up, it was like, ooh, is there going to be an emotional wibble? Is there going to be an emotional thing there? I don't think there is. It just feels like this positive uptick is happening, and I do think it's going to bring in some either ors with these cards. So maybe in the emotional sector, maybe in the romance sector, maybe in the work sector, it's going to bring this either or, right? I know earlier I said this will be about a couple or a couple of relationships. It isn't, because these aren't the cards we're reading. These are the clarifying cards. So I got a bit confused. Doesn't take much. Doesn't take much at all. But yeah, it feels like it's like halfway through this reading, literally the first 3 cards, and then we've got this positive confidence shift, and then we've got the Ace of Cups. So it's like wee, and things get better. I don't know what any of that means, Boldly Dream, but I hope that helps, my darling. And thank you very much for your question, and thank you for the super doodah. Yeah, the super chat. Super thanks. Super hero. Right, let me do the things. Come on. There we go. And the live chat. Oh, wow, hang on. Where are we going to? But Boldly Dream. Your Pisces sun in Gemini moon. I don't know what that means. I'm a really bad witch, right? I do not know astrology. I forgot which one was stars and which one was star signs then. No, but let's see what's coming. Okay. You have a settlement coming and a move, maybe. Is that a financial settlement? Is it the end of a case? I don't know what that is, but if it's financial, then yes, you've got this upswing. Maybe the Two of Pentacles reversed. I need to put my glasses on. Maybe this Two of Pentacles reversed could mean an end to juggling money. Could well do. Yep. Pentacles. It could mean a shift at work. It could mean anything like that. And the Two of Wands in reverse, a decision coming. I think both of them are talking about a fork in the road, right? So there's an absolute fork in the road, and it's an even or. You could do this or you could do this. It's, that is definitely coming up. Okay. Facepalm. What have I said? Have I said something wrong? I don't know. The mods have put a facepalm picture in. Oh, there's a super chat from Creative Seed. I'm just seeing that now. Yeah. That's okay. I can do it. We've got just about enough time to squeeze the last one in, but that is going to be the last. Did I do? Please tell me I did oh, hang on a second. I'm on the wrong screen. Please tell me. Yes. There we go. No more super chats, please, as I will be unable to read them. Creative Seed, yours will be the last one that I do. Where are we going? Yeah. So I think it's going to be okay. I think things should be okay. It feels like if the settlement's got any question about it, it feels like it's going to be fine. It's going to probably be mid to late month just because of the way the cards have fallen. And I told them about the facepalm. Well, I don't know what the messages are. I wasn't reading the live chat. I thought I'd done something wrong, you sillies. I'm just putting all the cards back in the doodah. So in the deck. So yes, right. Let me have a look. Boldly Dream sent a super sticker. Thank you for that, my darling. Thank you for that. It's a financial settlement from a fall accident. You haven't worked that since. Oh, my darling, I'm so sorry about that. Hopefully it's a big chunk of cash. Yeah, I will just about squeeze one in. I've got 12 minutes. So yeah, no more super chats tonight, please, everybody. No more super chats. But thank you, Creative Seed. I will do yours next. Don't worry about it, my darling. So yeah, fingers crossed. And also, hopefully you've healed okay from a fall accident. Do you mean you fell, or do you mean an accident in fall, the season, like autumn as we call it? Because it won't make a difference to the settlement, but it's interesting. Right then, thank you very much, Boldly Dream, and thank you for the super sticker. You are ever so kind, and yes, thank you very much for that. Right then, the last reading today is going to Creative Seed, Lalita. Right, okay, my darling. Okay, that seems fairly okay to do. Let me go into that one, and I'm going to change the thingy. By the way, everybody, the next time I'll be live will be Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. I don't think I'm going to be doing a late night stream on Thursday this week, but make sure you hit that subscribe button, ding your bell, and change your settings to all, so that YouTube lets you know if I end up going live. I don't think I will be, though, because I need to sleep. Okay. It's okay, Patricia, it's okay, it's fine. So then, Creative Seed, let's go ahead. This might be a little bit rushed, but I'm sure it's fine. 1, 2, and 3. And let's have a look. So then, Wispy, I think I've missed something. So then, Wispy, we've got Lalita, otherwise known as Creative Seed. And Lalita wants to know what impression their colleagues have of them, or what they speak about. Like, what do they talk about, Lalita? Do they talk about them behind their back? That's what we want to know, basically. What is being said? What is being done? What is what's going on? What's the office gossip? That's what we want to know, basically. Right then, let's have a look. So we're going to do this as a 6-card 2-layer, and we'll do what's happening and what the feeling is, what the emotions are, what the subconscious is. So let's have a look. Don't forget, everybody, you can join the membership, where you get to hang out with us, myself, the mods, the other members. We get to chill. It's a nice little chat. We do it on a Sunday evening at 6 p.m. UK time. You also get the pre-record videos at least a day early. I try. With Witchcast, it has to go up as soon as possible, so it's maybe about 12 hours early. But you also get things like a longer podcast this month, and all sorts of other bits and pieces that we release just to members. So I'm working on a couple of bits behind the scenes that the members will be the first ones to know about. In fact, the logo for the new thing has already been released to the members. So yes, interesting times. Right then, let's have a look. So in what you need to, where you are with your life, we've got the 4 of Pentacles. So work. There's a certain stagnant energy going on at work at the moment. It doesn't feel like it's a very super positive place to be. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody's talking shit about you, but it feels more like everybody's on that gossip train. Do you know what I mean? It feels like everybody is on the toxic gossip train, and that sort of, I don't think you're being picked out, but I think people are talking about everybody, because we've got this really stagnant energy. So 4s are normally talking about stability, 4 table legs, 4 chair legs. When it's reversed, that stability becomes stagnant energy that needs clearing, energy that needs, moving on, because it just sits like a pool of water on a sunny day when you get the mosquitoes and all the gnats and things. It's like that. On the subconscious, we've got the Fool. Now, don't worry too much about this. The Fool is talking about a new journey, being at the start of something. This is reversed. So it feels like, I don't know whether you've just joined these colleagues, or whether they see you as maybe needing to go back and get some more training, or maybe that you haven't moved on from when you first joined the company. Does that make sense? Because the Fool is the first card on the deck. It's literally the 0 card. It's neither positive nor negative. It is literally the start of the tarot journey. So it's the Fool's journey through the major arcana that the tarot is all about. And the Fool is literally the person that learns all of the lessons, speaks to all of the cards, and basically discovers what their life and how their life is and how the universe is. And then they reset and go back to zero. So this is really saying that it's almost like you ask too many questions, and perhaps there's a little bit of naivety that you haven't quite picked up the work routine almost. In the what you need to know, we've got the Knight of Swords. Now, I don't think this is people necessarily talking shit about you, but I do think there are some issues that you might need to address, because Swords is the trouble and strife and the challenge suit, and the Knights are the sort of rebellious energy, if you like, that teenage energy where they act first and think later. Now, if this is what they think of you, then it means that maybe you might have to, how can I put it? Maybe you might have to speak to one of the bosses and just say, can I just check in? How do you think I'm doing here? What do you think I need to do? Is there anything I could be doing better? That sort of thing. It's linked in though with the Strength card. So I don't think this is a bad thing. It feels like you're actually going to benefit from taking this approach, right? Asking for feedback, asking what the bosses think, even asking what your colleagues think, and maybe just say, you know, one lunch hour or one break time or whatever it is, wherever you work, maybe just say, hey, Brenda, how do you think I'm doing? Like, do you think I'm doing all right? Or maybe you start it by going, how's your day been, Brenda? Oh, do you know what? I've had a bit of a shit day myself. I'm not quite sure that I'm 100% on board with everything. Can you just, like, is there anything that you think I'm missing? Because maybe I'm not getting all the puzzle pieces. It's something like that, where you just confirm with a colleague if you've got all of the skill set and all of the tools that you need. That will stop it. That will stop people from commenting, because then you're literally asking for assistance. And what you'll find is a lot of time people will talk behind your back, not necessarily your back, but people do talk about other people's back. The minute that person says, do you know, I'm not entirely certain I've got this 100%, can you just go over it with me? You're asking for their opinion. You're asking for their advice. And even lay it on thick, Lolita, to say, Brenda, like, you're so smart. You're so good at this. Can you give me some tips? Is there anything that you can point me in the right direction? Because, like, you seem to know everything. You're so good at this. Can you give me a few pointers? Do it like that. Blow some smoke up her ass. Make her feel special. She will then stop talking about you like that, because she'll go, oh, Lolita's so lovely. They think I'm the most lovely person there. And actually, you know, she'll be on your side then. It doesn't have to be a Brenda. It could be a Bob. Anyway, coming up, we've got the Six of Pentacles. So there is a work element. Sixes are about community, but there's also this element of charity. So this, again, I think is pointing to this idea of, and that's where the strength comes in, by the way, having the strength to go to the person that you think is talking about you and just say, you're so good at this. Like, your reports are so brilliant. Can you give me some advice? This is talking about that again, because it's talking about maybe kind of with the donation side, with that charity side, this is you going, I need a bit of support. I need a little bit of help, even though you don't. I need a little bit of help, Brenda. You know, do you think you could help me? If I ask for your advice, could you give me some advice from your perspective? Do all of that, because that brings people together, because you're not just then saying to somebody, you're not just then saying, I know what I'm doing. You're actually going, I think I know what I'm doing, but just on the safe side. And then that seems to want to stop this confidence, because wands is confidence. 5 is when there's a bit of a mismatch, things aren't quite gelling. So it could be that you are picking up on this, and when it's reversed, it's kind of saying that the people around you are the ones where things aren't quite gelling. I don't think it's your opinion. I don't think it's that you've done anything wrong. It's literally just the fact that things aren't quite knitting together 100%. And the fact that you go and ask somebody at work, particularly if they're one of the people you think are being a bit bitchy, it will help, and it will stop that feeling of, you probably think everybody's eyes are on you, even when they're not. You probably think people are talking about you even when they're not, and it will stop that process. So yeah, hopefully that helps, my darling. That is going to be your reading tonight, and that is going to be it from us tonight. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out and joining us. I know, right? You're in your own homes. It just feels, because we've got such an international audience, it just feels like I should be like, thank you for getting off the plane and joining us today. But yeah, thank you ever so much for joining us on today's stream. Thank you to everybody who sent a question, and thank you to everybody who sent a super chat. Don't forget, as I say, we'll be back on Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. UK time. And as I say, I don't think I'll be doing an international stream later on tonight, but sorry, later on Thursday. But do hit your bell and double check that it's set to all, so that you'll be able to double check, just in case, spur of the moment, I decide to go live. But that is it from me. And as I always say, stay you, stay true, stay authentic, and I will definitely see you on the next one. Creative Seed, I've just seen that comment. You just started working there a month ago. Absolutely. They're not talking about you. Maybe you just need to ask the right people the right questions. And with that, my darling, I'm going to say thanks ever so much for your question. Thank you, everybody. And thank you to the most amazing mod squad anywhere on the internet. That is all of my amazing moderators. We'll catch you next time. And as I always say, stay you, stay true, stay authentic, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.